challenging Rob and I's life is at the moment. You will just cry for us, and you won't even cry for Argentina anymore. You'll just cry for us.
You need to sing that song. Cry for me, funk and
Argentina, Argentina. It's in your choice. It's in your choice. But I mean, it's been like this for years, man. Well, not for Rob. I don't know if your battle has been years, but like,
I mean, I too, I think, was like you when I was living the money-making life,
yes.
And then what I don't understand is that when I switched to the non-money-making life, it became harder to get done what I needed to get done.
Yeah, no, you need bucks to get things done. But I mean, I'm just grateful that we've got a strategy that I'll never have to do fundraising again in my life. I mean, we're doing fundraising now to build the game. I mean, if you think that really what we need to hit our goal, it's come down drastically from what we needed like a year ago. So it's like, finding that 500K at 50K a month. Once we find that, that's a multi-million-dollar game that we're building, and that's not even only believe. I think when we lock down this first metric generating model, it'll be easier to pitch only believe as well, especially large scale community pitches.
No, 100%.
All right. Probably.
And it's also, when the ecosystems there with the NFTs and the earnings, and then the people in the chat here are earning bank, they're earning some bags, then it's just going to snowball.
Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking. Okay, so this presentation I'm about to show you, it's on my X somewhere.
It's Mr. T in the house. What up, Mr. T?
Yo, Mr. T.
Is that Mr. T in terms of the A-team strength, or Mr. T as in TEA and scones?
Mr. Bhutan, bro. He runs around throwing people out of helicopters in Bhutan. Mr. T. Mushmula, you need to stop commenting, otherwise we're going to play the Mushmula song every 5 minutes. Do you know how much of a earworm it is, Mushy? It's like I walk around like with unrelated business, and in my head it's going mush, mushy, mush, mush, mush. We nailed all the songs there.
It's very catchy.
I'm so glad. Like Mandy insisted. I mean, we used, to grab the credits for that thing. She used, what did she use? Like insurance or something, instead of paying insurance. We did that.
Yeah, you just sacrifice for the tunes.
She was no lovey. You have to have that app. And because there's a lot of sacrifice involved in building this game for all of us. We pump every available bit of money in. She's just singing songs. We need to do one for, Mr. T must show up a few more days. Where have the Bhutanese been? Like Mr. T, Kington Zone's making a comeback. Where's all the other Bhutanese? Is it too late or what? My chat is now turned off so I can watch the presentation.
Yeah, Mr. T, all about the beards.
Hey, there's Midnight Cats Lady. Hey, where's my Midnight Cats Lady button? Here it is.
Hey, it's Midnight Cats Lady. Don't touch that mouse. You're on the Funk Show.
Yes, we are. All right. Okay, so if you're struggling to squint at the screen with the presentation that I'm going to show you, it's like insane alpha. What we're going to show you today if you grasp it, it'll change your life. You'll really understand what we're building. And some of you, if you land a big fish, we have a policy of finder's fees and stuff, which we work out once we land the thing. But and if you understand enough to do pitching and stuff, and you yourself understand what you're investing into, that's so important to understand what you're investing into, because we're building something very, very special here in a very special way. So I want you to try and pay as much attention as you can, and really try and grasp the terminologies, because it tends to be quite complex to do what we do the way we do it. There's Rizzo, so we definitely got to play the Rizzo and Rob song just now. Okay, so first off, if you don't have Funk tokens, if you haven't been buying NFTs and stuff, you got to try and get them, whatever ways you can to earn them, whether you're doing quests. I think the courage earning metric is coming soon, but whatever you're doing in our ecosystem, you really, really, really want to understand it and become a student of what we're doing, because a lot of us, we're not just trying to start a business. Well, Rob, you're rocking what is that financial qualification thingy that you go and study?
What, my qualification?
Yeah. You, man, my brain just fighting with me now. Like, you go and study and you get a bachelor's. No.
Oh yeah. I'm an educated oak. I got a PG dip, postgraduate diploma.
Yeah, in
strategy and leadership.
Strategy and leadership. There you go. Like last night we had Johan on stage. He's a professor. Most of what I've studied was like theology, philosophy, rural economic development, and I've thrown heart and soul into understanding different kinds of financial project management. And the most I learned about finances was in the film industry, and I didn't quite have the terminologies locked down, but out of necessity we've come up with this term agile concurrency, and I really, this is very important. I want you to write this down in the comments wherever you're on, whichever platforms. My vocabulary determines what enters my life. It's like so important. My vocabulary determines what enters my life. It's so important. Let me see if I can get this thing a bit bigger on everybody's screens. So we're gonna give you new words as we go forward. As you learn about the vision, as you learn about how things work. But learning agile concurrency. So where did it come from? This term. So what it means, first of all, and again, don't worry if you can't see this very nicely. You can climb into it in depth. I've posted it on X somewhere, and but you can just ask us, and we'll share the stuff. But what agile concurrency is, it means running multiple agile processes. I'll explain all the words, or work streams at the same time, while still maintaining the core agile principles of flexibility, collaboration, and iterative progress. So there we go. Thank you, Senior Choice. I've got a new fixed one that I must hand out as well. But okay. So what you're gonna see now is how we maximize your investment. When you buy or get an NFT, or you're holding tokens, when you're holding on to something, we are with this agile concurrency strategy, and don't worry, I'll explain all the words because it's got to become part of your vocabulary. With agile concurrency, we're consistently adding value. Every time we add something new in the ecosystem, we make sure that it doesn't take away from something else. It adds value to the thing that you hold. That is the power of a agile concurrency strategy. And most people can't do it because they are not driven by the same motives that we are. They don't have the same financial motives or ideological motives. So it's not part of their core motivation. So what is agile concurrency? Where does it come from? Well, agile is from the agile production management school of thought, where you're dealing with either creative or disruptive technology projects where you've got to be on your feet the whole time, and you've got to think. And where you're sitting, I want you to say think, but click when you say it. Think. You know, it's quick. You know that, like when someone's irritated with you, or you're irritated with someone, they're not moving fast enough, they're not awake, they're just sitting there. Like, you click at them like this, and sometimes you got to say it to yourself, and that's the agile. That's when like our entire ecosystem is like that. That's how we move. Like, we're live every day. We're moving every day. We have meetings every day. You know, I remarked mostly to myself this morning. I didn't get a chance to say it on the call, but you know, I phone people. It's Saturday today. I call our. You know, we've got like our core. The GDDs, the game development, either document or directorship or disaster or whatever group, and I call it, and everybody who answers is we're tired, but we answer, and we're happy to hear from each other, and then we work. And we do this 7 days a week. We are doing production meetings, status updates. We're on it the whole time because. And click your fingers and just say think, because that's what agile means. Concurrency means, you know, it's from the word concurrent, which means at the same time. It's concurrent. It's running at the same time. So when something is concurrent, it looks like this. It's like lanes. See, they're all running at the same time. So we're running and building projects at the same time. And somebody would say, why don't you just focus on one? Because agile concurrency leverages the progress that each one of these achieves by itself. So if you achieve, let's say we're working on yeah, Midnight says ADHD, thinking 500 directions at once. ADHD might help you a bit with you know, agile concurrency, but I think it would help a lot. But anybody can work like this because you are on top of the thing, all the things that you're excited about and passionate about. Like in this case, this is like probably 4 of 20 things that we're working on, but we don't want to freak people out. So, you know, most people can only handle 3, but because the founder funnel is so easy to understand, we popped it in there. But you can actually handle up to 20, but I'm just saying at first glance, you know, having more than 3 things on screen freaks people out a bit. But like over here, so we got the OSP PC that we're building that a lot of you are playing. And we're going to show you a sneak peek of a map tonight, maybe. Then there's the Citadel that we're building that some of you have seen. Then there's the Potato Mobile, which is very, very close to being released. And we're going to use that to generate silly metrics that aren't really real, but are real enough to unlock grants. And then there's the founder funnel, which you're a part of. You who are commenting, you who are watching right now, you who climb into you know, this daily part, you're part of the founder funnel. You're You are it. It's called the Funk Show because we created a character, I guess. But the goal is always that you end up with a community. Yes, you're very funky. So that founder funnel, everybody who comments every day, who's really on board, you are part of this machine. So for example, how far we were the founder funnel? Well, we started a commitment to go daily. So I think what did someone say? We're at day 181 today, probably. We launched the Funk token. We launched the Funk NFTs. So these are all milestones. These are called milestones. It's like you have goals. Want to do this, and then we want to do that, and then thank you, Senior Choice. You're day 181. So we want to do this, and then we want to do that. Those are the milestones. Now, these milestones affect everything else in a concurrency strategy. So the next thing we're aiming for is Funk Land and NFT, the land NFTs. So how do we get to the land NFTs? Well, there's a couple of other milestones you can't see here, and one of them is really the marketplace and stuff. So, I mean, Rob has got, if Rob had to have the amount of things that he has to focus on as the CEO daily, there's probably 30 or something of these things. Now that Funkland NFT is waiting. Yes, thank you. Every Funky NFT equals an apartment in Funky Town, a real in-game location inside the Citadel. Thank you, Corporal Buddykins. So this Funkland NFT that we want to launch, it needs some other things to happen. So what do we do? And why is this important? It's important because it is going to produce more investor confidence, and it is going to increase your bags. So everybody who's holding Funk is going to be able to convert that Funk into something with real utility. I'll say it again. Everybody who's holding Funk will be able to convert that Funk token into something that has real utility. And that utility will generate passive income in terms of courage. So we have to have the courage system in place before we can do that. We have to have a NFT that can be bought with a meme coin, the Funk coin, and minted on Say. So that you're earning in our Say ecosystem, which is where the Citadel token will be launched. So some things need to happen, and that means on the Citadel over there, certain things need to happen. The Citadel over there, we've got the AI news curation. We're approaching the player shop. And then after that, it's the player-to-player marketplace, then the dynamic forums that we're investigating. We're chatting about it daily, how we're going to have a really exciting and dynamic player and community communication system, because it's 2025, and the best thing we've got is still Discord, which is chaotic, and then the infusion systems, and we're much closer to all of this than you think. And we might achieve the infusion system first, so that would shift in its milestone ranking. It might move backwards. And today we actually tested the streaming platform, and it wasn't bad. There was a 13-second delay, so Rob is very clever. So we had that there. And then clans being able to launch their NFTs. So we're pretty close to clan being able to launch their NFTs, and clans being able to launch tokens. We had a meeting yesterday for that. So these things are happening at the same time, and we need to be able to see how one thing affects the other. So the OSP PC thing, are you playing the single player? What are we focused on next? Co-op. We're trying to figure out well, we know it's not just trying to figure it out. We figured it out. We know what to do next. So that's the big fundraise that we're driving for now. Is really one of the biggest priorities is that cooperative play. And the Potato Mobile over there, we're also super close to having that thing released. Why are we working on Potato Mobile at the same time as PC? Well, the zero barrier to entry strategy is we want people with with normal mobile phones who don't have gaming PCs to be able to enter our earning ecosystem so that they can end up buying a full-on PC or gaming laptop so that they can get into the fullness of the entire earning machine. Because a lot of you are going to enter this as a business. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of you are going to enter it for the fun, to play, to enjoy the fun of it. We want it all to be fun for you. We want the earning mechanisms, the business of it to be fun. We want the concurrent synergistic effect of doing anything to have a profound psychological and financial impact on your life, positive impacts. And there's more words to learn. It's concurrent, it's synergistic. Synergy means things get stronger as they work together. Not everything that works together has synergy, but everything that works together and has synergy becomes much stronger, right? So that's the introduction to this presentation, right? So here's a table of contents. You'll be able to navigate it and go back to things. You need to become a student of this presentation. Of all the presentations we have, you need to understand this, because then anything you ever see from us into the future is going to make a lot of sense. You got to study it like you're in university. It's going to change your life financially in incredible ways. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. Because we want to change your life financially. We want to change your family's life, your community's life through you. And that's why this system is so important. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's too small for you to read, but I'll read it for you. So Agile Concurrency, the smarter way to build, shared infrastructure, exponential efficiency. So traditional studios re-engineer mobile marketplace web systems from scratch after the main PC build. So usually they'll spend all the money, build something, and then, oh no, this sucks. We need more millions to fix all the things that broke. That's not how we build. We build cross-compatibility systems once, deploy them everywhere. So we do, for instance, our goal for the first build was to have you guys experience a lot of the game, as much of the game as possible, even though it's clunky. We wanted you to experience some cinematics. We wanted you to experience running around in the game world itself. We wanted you to experience full-on arena play. Now, usually we'd have to work on it for 5 years, because this kind of game, it's a AAA game. It's in the way it feels and plays and everything. Usually you wouldn't get to experience that because we'd have to wait until Midnight Cats lady mentioned the lighting in the game, rightly so. It's no joke, those lights, if we add enough lighting to make it a bit more lit, the cost on your graphics processor is insane, because we're adding, GPU go up, exactly, graphics processing unit. The load on it goes up because we're adding more lights. Like the Lucille, that big ship, it needed like 75,000 individual lighting things to light that entire ship from one end to the other. So we thought, okay, let's just sacrifice some of the cinematic awesomeness for now. One idea that I had was even to put like a lamp, but the arena, you'll see it's so glowy, and the problem is you turn the glow down, everything goes dark. You turn the glow up, you can't see anything. And right now there's a problem where you're running around in there, and sometimes you can't see certain things because some things are so dark, there's too much reflection. That requires an expert, and those experts cost like upwards of $1,000 a week. So because we've got an agile concurrency strategy, we're saying, okay, we're introducing the minimum viable product, the place where you can at least experience and have fun, and from here it only gets better. So no matter how cool you think it is right now, it's only gonna get better. And we'll show you, a little bit about how that of how that's gonna feel just now when I show you the map that we were just messing around in this morning. It's crazy. You can change changes the time of day and the weather and all sorts of cool things. So because we're not building out the entire thing, we're building the bare minimum so that you can experience it, and then you can have input and say, I want more of this and less of that. So what was our first goal? The first bunch of waves and the first boss, and make it such fun that you're happy to play it over and over and over again. And as soon as possible, we're working on it right now, you'll have your next bunch of waves and your next boss. And then you'll be like, good Lord, man, I can't wait to mow through the bunch of waves and Pyrothor so I can get to the next bunch of waves and the next boss. And then I can't, because you're going to go and experience that in story mode. The other thing we're working on is currently, between the boss fights and stuff, today we were discussing how there needs to be lore. You need to understand what's going on, where you are. Now, our priority is not that the things match up creatively yet. It's a nice to have. But right now, does it communicate the story? Does it communicate what it's going to be like in such a way that we can capture the imagination of our community? And that's that first point. Instead of building this massive thing and then having community input, you do it as you go. So you have a lot of input on the first boss fights, the first worlds we build. We see, okay, people really enjoy the Tronny vibe. Some people really enjoy the space vibe. What's coming next is a little bit more space stuff, and then some alien jungle stuff, and you'll see, like, what do people enjoy? What do they like? So user community will determine in large part where we go when we're ready for the big MMOs, and our battle royale thing is amazing. So in this strategy, we're creating things simultaneously as we go, and that means that like, instead of building this $2 million game, we want to move it like $10,000 to $20,000 a week, and every week the whole community, everybody is like giving input and saying, okay, well, that was nice. So when we're in rhythm, you guys will have these massive releases every week, and as the players, you're trading and you're saying, well, I had a lot of fun and I traded this and I traded that. The economy can change like this. The game needs a bit of this, we feel. No. And we're listening the whole time as the developers, and we're shaping it out to be the game that every gamer wants, with everything all of us love about gaming in one game. And that's I'd like you to write that down. Everything I love. So say it from your point of view. Everything I love about gaming in one game. So so what do I love about gaming as Uncle Funk? I love the cameras, the views. Like, so today I was like, look at this, Rob, and he was like, dude, you can't shoot with that camera. You can't have people aiming down there with a a filmic camera lens. It'll take 2 days for it to focus before they can shoot anyone.
Zoom in with your telescope.
Yeah. And I'm like, whoo, look how pretty it is. You'll see just now. Well, senior choice, everything you love about gaming in one game. So that includes the ability to earn money, and to make friends, to be able to stream from inside the game, to be able to film content. Like, one of the things in our Milestone is full-on camera equipment, like proper lenses. It's yeah, one metaverse, absolutely. So there's a psychological and community advantage is real-time testing and community feedback, multiple revenue streams instantly. So we're not waiting for the game to launch before it starts making money, and for you to start making money. We want you to be making money now already. So you could be selling things and making a bit of bucks. And we're working on that behind the scenes all the time. How can we get our community to have fun and make money while we're building? That's why we came to Web3. So in a traditional build, there's high capital expense, there's sequential development, so the work is chained. They've got like this game development document that they stick to. And then they build out whatever's in there. And by the time they get to the end, if it didn't work, it can be a catastrophic failure, especially if they're building like a $60 or $100 million game. Then they do those late monetization strategies. So that's the traditional build on the left there. Like everything is more risky, like top to bottom. It's just you're kind of waiting, you're growing the tree, and then hoping that the fruit is going to be good. Whereas on Agile Concurrency, there's a very strictly controlled capital flow. There was someone who gave us a pretty harsh, like an investor who just doesn't like games or Web3 anymore, who shouldn't actually be in games or Web3, gave us this like harsh, return. And the guy was expecting this hyper polished MVP. He's like, even for an MVP, it's this and that. And I'm like, what? I've never seen a minimum viable product that looks like this, like ever. I don't know, Rob. You seen a minimum viable product? Yo, for less than $200,000 so far. Sure.
Yeah, no, it's crazy good. It's crazy good.
And then there's that parallelized efficiency. There's things to add to your vocabulary. Add these things to your vocab. So there you saw 4 lanes. So all that's parallel. So if you understand, most projects are built in series. So they do this, and then they do that, and then they do that. Kind of a milestone, but it's all the things being built sequentially. They design everything from scratch. They build out everything from scratch, and we're like, no, we're parallel. We're doing things that's parallelized. When this thing achieves something, it affects that, and now the whole community's got input. It can already earn at that point. Now let's move to the next point where it should achieve the next bunch of milestones, which means the community is even earning more. There's even more fun to be had, and the revenue and liquidity are instant. We released our MVP and we'd already had like 2 major mints and released a meme coin by then, so that grows the community and excites the community. So I already discussed a lot of this synchronized ecosystem. There's a bit more about the 4 racing lanes that you'll be able to see in your document. Now, I talk often about the infusion system, and the infusion system is going to be the core of what drives sales and utility in our ecosystem. This is the monster that we came up with, that is responsible for the awesomeness of having 625 NFTs in one weapon. And why would we want it in either a turret or a weapon or a chess piece? Well, there's 2, let's call it 3 big reasons. The third one being, the financial efficacy. But the first major reason is, as gamers, we've always had so much stuff in our inventory that was just useless. You can't use it. It just sits there. So the thought was, imagine if you chuck all of this, you can chuck all of it into something and it changes what that thing does. So imagine if you want a gun to heal when it shoots. So it heals you every time it shoots. Excuse me. You get guns like that in games. So why not make it your choice? Your senior choice. why not make it an option, that you can infuse anything in anything. So if you want that turret to shield everything next to it, if you want that the gun that you're using to when it shoots people, it heals you, or when it heals you, it heals people next to you. If you wanted to shoot faster, further, you just like infuse your pistol or whatever with sniper rifles, and now it's going to shoot further. But the thing is that in this infusion system, the first question was, imagine the fun of sitting there for hours, coming up with these incredibly, insanely unique builds, because the system that is being built out in the background says, we don't really care about balance initially, we care about creativity. We want to see, what do you come up with? That's going to dominate that battlefield. That's why there's an endless mode. We want to see how far you can get with the most ridiculous builds. And it's the backbone of our gameplay, functionality, and of your ability to earn. You see, so the first thing was, just to be able to use everything in your inventory. Second thing was to give everything in your inventory financial utility. So it's of worth to other players. So if you're in a clan and they've got a clan bank, and you're saying, oh man, I want to build this nice sniper. So, and that's clan leaders are going to have their hands full with these clan surfers, who go there, then they build out a nice sniper, and then they leave your clan, go somewhere else to build a machine gun. There's people like that. Hey, Rob, they're your favorites.
Yeah, they get all the hugs and kisses from me, man.
The clan surfers. Your World of Warcraft, they come there and they just plunder your bank.
It's so hard to build a core, consistent bunch of players for a clan and stuff. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, Midnight Cats Lady digs it. Senior Choice is going to build like this major Latam clan, I'm telling you. And we want clan leaders and clans to really prosper, because you're running a big business. Yeah, Senior Choice, if Sura rejects us, then we're going to talk to you and us are going to have a very serious conversation about building out our own Sura. Hello, baby. Are you going to bed? Okay. I love you, my little bumblebee. That's my cat. Sleep tight. Hand to hand, hand-to-hand combat with kitty claws, absolutely, with chain effects, chain damage effects, and like feedback loops of generating aggro to keep your non melee glass cannons safe. Tanky cat. You can have like a big plump cat. Then it gets fatter the more tanky it gets. So like bees just like flying around. One sting from a bee drone can take you out. A bee echovant. See, so ideas like that, when you're moving with a concurrency strategy, you like the community. As you get to know the community, you can bring these things in. And then it's important to understand how the rarity and slot multipliers work. I encourage you to jump into that in the document, where that infusion system, because it's also got bonuses in how it affects your build. So common, you've got 5 infusion slots where you can merge 5 things into a common, and ultra exotics 25 fusion slots where you can like merge 25 things from your inventory into one card, and then it changes the effects, you know. But anyway, okay, so let me keep moving here because I'm going to get to some alpha in a second. So this is quite serious alpha that about the primes that most people don't know. So the primes are Crispus, Up, Lucille, Katsu. Then much later, we didn't tell you this, but much later, Nimrod as well, which is the main bad guy. So we're not going to let you in on the lore, you know, but there will be other primes, you know, and these primes are the key characters, the key story driving characters. And the more of these primes you can have, that's why Senior Choice giving away his primes. I'm like still like, what are you doing? He's like so generous. I mean, giving away his Lucille's. Like, you want to be collecting Lucille's. I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter what they cost right now, because the prime itself, it's not something you ever want to sell in our gaming. You can definitely not in the next 10 years. I mean, look, if it goes up to like, you know, 1 BTC for a prime, you might want to consider it. I don't know if you want to, you know, buy a house while you're playing the game, because it doesn't help having stuff that can change your life and not using it. But yeah, digital asset hoarder, don't touch the poo. Giving courage to others is what we do. Yeah, can't wait for that to be the dynamics in your choice, when you can just hand out courage as the main thing. But these primes have they have the biggest effect of anything on the overall build that players will be building. So people who can get their hands on a lot of primes are gonna be far ahead of everybody else. Sorry. People who can get their hands on these primes, who have got a lot of Lucille's, a lot of Katsus. Now your question is like, you know, how many do we need? Yes. I mean, if you've got there won't be anything more powerful than a healer that has like 625 Lucille's. And I think there's only one person for whom that is possible right now. It's probably Georgia. I don't know. Or I think Kevin might also have more than 600. But you want to have, I should give info on Marketplace, FME. Rob, what's the update on where they can get Lucille's right now?
No, the Lucille's is live. That's on the Vault on the Citadel. Opening the Lucille packs. There are, I believe, packs and Lucille's for trade on OpenSea at the moment.
Okay, yeah. So there you have it, Midnight Cats Lady. So there are the Vault. You can see what's available in the Vault on Citadel.
Yeah, it's Lucille pack opening. So yeah, if you've got a pack, you can get your 3 Lucille's from the Vault. We can drop a link somewhere here, Unc. I don't know where.
Discord. Okay, so no, what are you eating? Peanut butter. Pizza. Yeah, no, Senior Choice. I wouldn't give away primes if I were you. That's like giving away a bored ape. Our objective with those primes is like there's only 10,000 of each. It stayed home. Yeah. So So because primes have got all sorts of things. Like for example, I can't zoom in, but like in the top right there. So you guys all got access to this thing. Yeah, Midnight. I'm the same. I mean, I can't judge him because I've given everything away. Midnight, I've got nothing. I think I've got like $100 worth of funk. Yeah, especially for senior choice, man. He needs to. Yeah, yeah. The more you get to know this, so over there you can see like the Crispus boosts defensive infusions, stability, duration multipliers, upped, increases synergy efficiency, so it lowers cross type penalties. So even though upped is a tank, there's things like that when that thing is in your build, nothing else does that, and it because nothing else boosts all the cards. But these do. Lucille enhances regeneration, shield multipliers, amplifies courage yield. I mean, amplifies courage yield. You earn more courage with Lucille NFTs in game. It's so unfair. And why do we do that? Because it's first mover advantage. People who supported us in the beginning must be rewarded the most. So if you were in time to get Lucille's and you're in time now, you know, if you arrived at the beginning and you're here now, it's still the beginning. You know, the time, it's the right time now to be getting these things before anybody knows, before anybody has any idea what these things do. Yeah, Doksukis will be able to be infused. That is correct. So Doksuki, when you place them on a battlefield, they increase your valor economy. So it's good to have those as well. Like Katsu. Now, so the Katsu mint is about to happen. People are going to sell those Katsus so cheap initially, because most of the people who get them have no idea what these things are. They don't know what they do. They don't know what they are. Supercharges damage and crit multipliers. There's the same amount of Katsus as there are Lucille's, and there are always like 10 or 20 or 50 times more damage dealer builds in a game. So if you understand how gamers think, everybody wants to do more damage. To just give you alpha on what the battle royale is going to be like. So the current idea is potentially you hit the field on the outskirts, and then it starts shrinking the map, you know, like a normal battle royale. So when you arrive, everyone's shooting at each other and stuff, and then you enter a ring where friendly fire is off. You can't, or everybody, all the players are considered friendly fire, because now you've got to take on a massive boss, right? And that boss drops courage bounties, and the bounty that you get is directly determined by the percentage of damage that you do to that boss on that battlefield, and it gets spread amongst the fire team. So the fire team has to work together. So if B wants to increase everybody's damage, and Senior Choice wants to keep everybody alive so that they can do damage for longer, and that increases Midnight Cat's ladies, cat swipes, and stuff like that, then they're gonna share the bounty, because they, as a fire team, doing X amount of damage to that boss in the middle. Now the other fire team, they don't know what infusions are. They just came in with noob things. They aren't doing much damage, and that boss gets whacked. The heals over time. So you kill that boss. Now right across the battlefield, it determines all these fire teams who were shooting at this big thing in the middle, and we're being shot at by the big thing in the middle and all the little things coming out of it. It says, okay, you did 5% of the damage, you're going to get 5% of of the courage reward. And the moment that thing dies, the battlefield opens up, and then it's fire team against fire team again. Now it's last man standing or last team standing. So it's a lot of fun, and you got your turrets down, and initially you'll probably only have one turret each, so you need a fully infused turret that you take with you into the battlefield that has a predetermined upgrade path that you, in this infusion system, decided you're going to have. Same amount of katsus, buddy. That's why it's going to be so rare, because people are going to want these high damage builds a lot more than they want healing or tanky builds, but there's still the same amount of katsus. So there's a lot more damage dealer NFTs for those builds. There's going to be more than 100,000 Rothborn damage dealer NFTs in those loot boxes and on the marketplaces. But you have to be crazy to let go of a katsu. None. There's not. There's a couple hundred people watching now, but not many of them are actually gamers and stuff, or even understand English. And now you're in this position where you're like, whew, I can get ahead of the curve and get a lot of katsus. You need a lot more damage dealers. We're still working out the dynamics, but like MOBA is typically 5 versus 5, so you'd probably have 5 damage dealers or 3 damage dealers, a healer and a tank. When you go and do dungeons, you usually want 3 damage dealers, a healer and a tank, or maybe your damage dealers have got such a high heal return infusion build that they manage to somehow figure out of the thousands and thousands of potential combinations that they've produced some kind of meta. But that will always be largely boosted by these primes. So we got to develop these things concurrently. That's why it's an agile concurrency strategy. This stuff is being produced concurrently, because if we release like this final version of the game just like that, and we missed out on all the cool ideas and suggestions from the community, it sucks. One healer, one tank, one healer, 3 DPS, and we love that dynamic. It's such fun. So there's a dynamic NFT and prestige system. So here you go. This is more alpha. So you can build that NFT, right? Lucille and Upto are scarce. Those are because you need a healer and a tank, man. You need those things to be exceptional. Like if you can have your tanks being chunky as heck, that's the Upt. All right, so so I'm nearly done. So all the NFTs are dynamic. You can build something out that's incredible to a point where there's 625 NFTs in it, and then infuse it and create a prestige. Or you can build special builds. Now, you don't have to infuse them. You can just use them dynamically in game. And the more you use something, the more experience it gets, the more it's going to level up, and it gets experience, and it can go from a common to a rare to a legendary to an exotic to an ultra exotic. It's dynamic. It's becoming something else. More slots are opening. The bonus multipliers are increasing. So if you're sitting with common cards right now, and you're like, it's just a common, you can grind that thing up to ultra exotic if you like the artwork. And you might want to end up with a set of something. Like you might want to have a bunny with a choicey, with a beehee, with a midnighty, with a mushy. You might want to build but you might want the artwork to all be the same. You might want them all to be pink, or all to be like a black and white vibe, or a gray vibe, or you might want to collect, and then you grind out, this particular look, so that when you stream, you've got this unique looking collection. You can do that. That's cool, Midnight. Midnight might want to find all the different cat collections. I'm sure there are going to be many cat collections, many bee collections, bees and wasps and hornets and whatever, and so you're able to work with that dynamic NFT so that it is gaining experience, and then it levels up, and it gets kind of reminted. Well, it doesn't really get reminted. A dynamic NFT, it's just the artwork that changes. In this case, the border and the metadata. And then you might say, okay, I would like to place things on the marketplace. I want to specialize in putting vampiric snipers. So you build out a vampiric sniper. So what does that mean? It's a sniper that heals you every time it does damage, and you might want to put it on the marketplace immediately for people who are either just starting the game, or want to redo the game, or want to try out a new build. And then those are called IR locks. So on the marketplace, you would say selling IR lock B sniper build. So IR is infusion rating. So it would say like, locked infusion rating 400. So your infusion rating determines what things you can go and do. And that's how many things are infused, how much damage it does. There's a bunch of factors in there that determine the infusion rating. But you want to be collecting now already things that have that effect, because you can mint IR locked NFTs already when that functionality comes. But you can do it with things that are not prestiged. You don't have to wait till you got 625 NFTs to prestige something. And so in our concurrency, we have to work on that at the same time. So the prestige is the apex evolution of everything that you have. Prestige represents transcendence, the fusion of mastery and devotion. To prestige an NFT, a player must infuse one ultra exotic with 25 fully infused ultra exotics, 625 NFTs total, and pay a courage ritual cost. Then you've got prestige class NFT benefits. So who here currently has 25 ultra exotics? You see. So infusing 25 ultra exotics. Well, I think it's in your choice. Buddy's got 0. Yeah, Twisted will have a bunch. Now imagine you got 25 ultra exotic Lucille's. Good Lord. There's a multiplier on multipliers there. I mean, that thing, your character will just walk around. It'll probably even heal your enemies by mistake. It's like Rob will be moaning, what the heck? The life is not going down on this thing. It'll be like, sit your choice. Or it'll probably be Twisted. Midnight Cats Lady is excited to get a legendary. You should be. But this is the pinnacle. This is like after either spending, selling your house and buying NFTs, or or playing for a year or two, and now you've got this insane end game content. Because if you want a chance of killing bosses that drop ciphers for ultra exotics and prestige, already prestige. Can you imagine killing a boss on a raid and it drops a already prestiged NFT? Kev says it'll give you a license to poop in the streets. So that's a prestige. It's 25 fully infused ultra exotics into an ultra exotic. So the prestige class NFT benefits exclusive access to prestige dungeons and titles. Yeah, I mean, if you're rocking a fully prestige loadout, you was 25. That's more than 16,000 NFTs in one loadout. Unique auras, cosmetics, courage yield bonuses, top tier marketplace visibility. There's all sorts of things for people who sweat. Now, pretty important here is that we've got a no burn recycling model. So, in other words, when NFTs are used in prestige infusions, they're not burned. Instead, they're re-released into the ecosystem. So they get put into the boss drops, loot boxes, marketplace refreshes. Each carries its lineage metadata. Prestige doesn't erase the past, it redistributes it. You see. Oh, nice job. Kev says, I've got one ultra exotic and she sat at the side of me. Good move, my man. Smooth. Yeah. So this is why we move slowly. We build slowly, a week at a time. So the ecosystem benefits are there's shared progress. So we're building everything at the same time so we can come up with all the necessary cool changes that we need. We can experiment with these things as we go. Faster iteration, reduced cost, real-time feedback. All right. Here's the core profit engine. If you guys are still awake, it's a multi-token economy. It's a tiered system, not a tired system. A tiered system ensuring utility and investment value at every level. So you've got the funk and soft tokens, entry currency for purchasing themed NFTs and land. So there'll be lots of meme coins out there with, clans, other games, that kind of thing. And they'll be able to come and buy stuff in the Citadel. You'll be able to spend whatever you support. If you launch your own clan with your own NFT and your own tokens one day, it'll have the ability to buy things in game. And obviously, courage is the primary earning token. Game plays and rentals, spend on direct-to-play NFTs and upgrades. You really want to maximize your courage earnings, even if it means having multiple accounts. You really want to do that. CTL, that's the Citadel token. Premium utility governance token used for player-to-player marketplace trades, land purchases, staking rewards, and as a primary in-game sync. Then we've got a dual marketplace system. So it's two distinct sales channels, drive revenue for the Citadel and liquidity for players. Direct-to-player marketplace sells packs, cosmetics, keys, properties, accepts cash or Citadel. Revenue, 100% of revenue goes to Citadel and its investors. Player-to-player marketplace, fully decentralized exchange trading NFTs directly. All trades are settled in Citadel. Revenue, Citadel earns a 5% commission from every transaction. So Midnight says, what would be the advantage of more than one account? There's a cap on how much courage each account can earn. So if you have the time to grind out 2 accounts. So we imagine people are going to, because, there's no way around it. That's why we just say, if you're going to do it, do it, there's like, if you've got the time, when you see, I think, what did we say, Rob? Is it 1 million courage cap a week? Was that a month? I don't know.
No, I think I think the plan was about 1 million a week.
Yeah, something like that. So if you're like really grindy and you want to, because I mean, you can share your NFTs, because you can airdrop NFTs from wallet to wallet probably. So you would have multiple accounts. The reason we do it is because there are going to be whales, man, who own so much stuff that we're like, just spread it across multiple accounts so that you don't destroy people's hearts, lives, and minds, because if you've got a build and you've got all the NFTs you need to generate the max courage every single week, then you create a whole other account. You can call it Kev2, Midnight 2, Midnight 3, Midnight 4. That's okay with us. It's just it's there's no way to make things fair, but at least we want it to feel fair. If that makes sense. It was at least feel kind of fair, because there's certain things that will cost. I think potentially a prestige. I don't know. It might be. What did we say? It costs $1 million. We wanted you to be able to buy a prestige a week.
Well, yeah, be able to get max of one prestige item per week.
Yeah, something like that to balance it out. So for the grinders because we, no matter what we do, we know that there are going to be, they'll try anything to cheat the game, man. They'll try and if someone is going to hack and whatever, we want to make sure, okay, well, even the best hacker on earth can only get one prestige per week, and if he starts 1,000 wallets, it benefits everybody. So if he's got 1,000 wallets, that means he's created 1,000 fake players, which benefits you because he's created demand, perceived demand, and he's regulating the prices of things. So we don't much have a problem with that, and you can't really do much about it because people will grey market things anyway. But what you want to do is yourself is with this knowledge. That's why this is massive alpha. It's colossal alpha, because courage earnings, having a lot of courage, is it's not a good idea. It's a spectacular idea. Any way you can is to work out, how do you earn 1 million courage a week, and then duplicate that. So if you're a grindy type and you want to do it as a we have a lot of courage. So that gives you a lot of power on that player marketplace, and you can send courage to all your clannies. Mushy's forgotten how to unlock Lucille's. I think, where do they do that? The vault.
Yeah, that's the vault. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Seen your choice. Just given the link you there, Mush. Then initial token launch metrics. So you want to get as much Citadel as you can, whether you're buying packs or whatever you're doing. The biggest bang for buck right now. B took all of the seats, although one just went open again. But B took both the available OSP seats. She sold her other kidney. But the biggest bang for buck right now is buying seats, because when you buy a seat, whether it's OSP or Citadel, you're getting the equivalency of the pack with all the Citadel and all the courage bonuses. So there's one OSP seat and 3 Citadel seats available right now. So one OSP seat is $1,000. A Citadel seat is $2,500. B would probably convert, her. Whoa! What is this? Hang on, let me have a look here. Okay, people are in fear of being ragged because of the past Web3 corrodes. I understand this. They don't want to invest until they see that it's 100% legit, but all this is doing is prolonging development. So why should people trust this project? It's simple. How many other projects do we know where the founder, CEO, COO, etc. come on video calls every day with their community to talk about every part of what's happening? truthful. They point out where blips can stall development, navigate it around these problems. The main reason I'm 100% on board, because they value their community. They know that if they deliver what the community want, then the community will be with them all the way. That's awesome. Yes, exactly. That's a big reason we're so transparent. Yeah, we want to build a tight knit. It does need to go in an X post for sure. So your Beacon, I didn't know. So B's actually got 3 seats on OSP. Yeah, so she can up convert to a Citadel if she wants to. And then there's seats available in OSP again. All roads lead to Citadel. So best bang for buck right now is, if you can find $1,000, grab an OSP seat. If you do have $2,500 or you have more, grab a Citadel seat. Remember, once these seats are gone, they're gone. They're not coming again. And the reason they're the best bang for buck is because, like if you grab a $1,000 seat, then that also gives you $1,000 pack, and in that pack you got all the stuff plus the Citadel dollar value at launch. And I'm bringing that up because if you see, well, you can't really see it, it's too small for you, but the launch price would be 0.016. So you're getting it at 0.08. Yeah.
0.08.
Yeah. So pre what prices?
That's our
pre-TGE.
Private.
Yeah, private rounds. Yeah.
Private round pricing.
So so you're Mushi's trying to sell elephant for second off. Do it. Yeah, so it's if you're already in this ecosystem and you're working hard, jump in, sell those kidneys and grab as many of these seats as you can. Okay, right. Value flow, ownership, impact. So property and land revenue, on-ramp cash flow, branded ownership, whales, clans, and streamers. So premium integration licenses generate direct Citadel revenue and drive token circulation. Branded arenas, custom NFTs and tokens, playable assets. So we're talking about concurrency, agile concurrency. So we're building all the stuff at the same time. All of it is being built at the same time so that it can be tested and experienced by the community. We want to have 1,000 millionaires in our ecosystem, and everything we do is to try and get that right. So over there, that's what you saw initially. And then over here is the OSP PC strategy. So we've already got maps. So the co-op maps, Battle Royale, MOBA, MMO, most of those maps, we've got all the tools. So making them is nothing. Making those maps is nothing. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, because we already did it for the single player, and that's where the concurrency works. So multiple streams of income and utility driving mechanics are in place. The game logic for the single player is cooking. We're like at the cusp of game logic for all the other versions. So you can see how concurrency works. Everything is being developed together at the same time. Right, there's the Citadel. It's the central nexus of the ecosystem. We'll go into this a bit more. We're already at 10 minutes over the hour. So there's the core development, marketplace, social hub, land property, infusion, sync. I mean, it's closing in. Oh, man, I can't wait till the infusion system is ready. That is going to be fun there. And that's it. Progress without pause. Agile concurrency framework ensures exponential growth, maximizing investment in every lane. So that gives you, I think, a nice idea of what is being built and how we're building. No, it was great, Kev. Don't worry. I think it really it should be a seminar. There's Amy. My vocabulary determines what enters my life. And Vanessa on Facebook says, learning so much, need to start playing the game. You will be able to when it's ready for your phone, Tani V. So that's the tip of the iceberg. But it's great for you to know how we're building. And last night, I think you enjoyed that session with Johan and the previous night with Rob. So we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep training you and teaching you. And knowledge is what makes you a master. Knowledge creates masters. The difference between masters and servants and slaves is vastly what we know. General Kier says, I think we should get Angst to stream himself playing the game, at the same time explaining why he's doing certain things like placing towers. Well, you would want Rob and Blushy doing that.
No, you said I'm no longer allowed to stream the game.
Oh, yeah, geez. Listen, we are trying to show the game to investors. Rob goes full sweat and just kills the dragon before it can even take off.
It took off.
I'm like, and this is the Drew. Yeah. I'm like, and this is the Drew. Rob! He's so sweaty. He can't do anything off.
I try to turn it off. Sorry, man. That didn't switch off.
Yeah, that didn't. But it's cool. I'm like, and this is the what the. Okay, let's just sneak some alpha for them. I'm like so tired after that. It's so hard work talking seriously. Let me load up a little summon.
Yeah, but I must say the CEO Rob session on leadership was very good, if I might say so myself, being the humble guy I am,
Yeah, no, it was excellent, dude. I remember when my name was CEO Rob.
When I was a fairy, they used to call me Humbelina.
Humbelina. General Kier said, offer education while we use different. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. No. Rizzo is probably gone.
Where is Rizzo?
So fine, we'll just play CEO of many things. While I'm loading up the thing. Let's see here.
From the ashes of ambition he rises. Iron Mind, Golden Heart. They call him King Tut. Every word, vow. Loyal to the core, faithful to the end.
Yeah, the good buddy.
Friend to the broken father, builder, friend.
Father, builder.
The CEO of many things, Kings and Reigns, Kingdom Sing. Wrong. The CEO of many things. Circuits spark when he speaks truth. Power forged in loyalty's proof. Every challenge falls in line. Every empire redesigned. No greed, just deeds.
eating.
Kingdom reigns! Rome, the CEO of many things. Rome, the CEO of many things. Legacy loaded. Loyalty sealed. Kingdom forever.
Nice.
Rob, the CEO. I mean, that was too aggressive. We're going to make more of a
Very
American one
very-
next. No.
No, I need like a red for dubstep meets Eminem meets the
Eminem.
Foo Fighters meets
I'll do that. Come with me,
meets
bro.
Sophie Tucker.
Watch me, bro. I will whip and then. Yeah. Definitely, General Kev. Mince on cauliflower. That's what I'm currently eating.
Doesn't sound very desserty.
Well, I had half a tub of ice cream during the day, so there's that. Pringles tube. Rob. The CEO of many things. Uncle Funk, what you're eating? Cauliflower and mince. Somehow it's giving me heartburn. What the hell? Must be the mince. All right. Let's see if this StreamYard can handle the awesomeness. Yeah, it's going to be choppy, but I'll just stop every now and then, show you some stuff. So you guys get a very nice PowerPoint presentation. Oh, boy. See, the cameras will allow this kind of cinematic zoom. Which Rob was like, no, we can't have you looking over a gun with this view. Like, fine, it'll be part of the, So you can look at a flower over there. And it's so cool. So you can zoom in and out of the character. So a lot of that functionality is coming. We're not saying, that you'll be able to switch between first person and third person and get camera modes and stuff like that. with nice lenses. What are you saying? Anyway, you didn't see any of this. No one showed you any of this stuff. Because we're generic, right? How'd you like my little passive aggressiveness there, Errol?
It was very nice. I have no idea what that was targeted at, you know?
Yeah, the robot, yeah. Yeah, it's quite cool. Dynamic weather, dynamic time of day. See, so it's foggy, rainy. There you go. It's more of a night sky. Yeah, we want people to really enjoy the world itself, you know. Time of the day. Yeah. Bright kind of daytime. Because it's an alien planet, doesn't have like a normal kind of daytime. I like nighttime a lot. Yeah, planets and moons and floating islands. There's a close. Well, that's cool. Anyway, it's too choppy to really run around, but it's quite pretty, eh? So you're gonna experience this pretty soon, we raccoon. Robe, the CE, bro. The generic cyber hippies of OSP. Exact tree. Anyway, that's enough of that. I reckon it's time to say goodbye to the people on the Facebooks and things. Time to say goodbye. You're awesome. Goodbye.